Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I thought I'd do this one. I've not done this one before, starring my mate, Chuck Norris. That being Firewalker. That's right, Firewalker. Now I remember when I was in school in the 15 day, I'm not really insulting it, but I'm half and half because it's been played already. There've been three damn good ones. The Chassis, Raiders, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Tistle Stull. You already heard what I think about that. It's not aged well. But and then they bring another one out, and it's like, why not something similar? And this was a good one, that being Firewalker. You could say Firewalker is similar to an Indiana Jones film. You've got Chuck Norris and you've got his mate. You might remember in at a sergeant in Ossifer and a Gentleman. Well, he's in it, and what a delight to see them both to death. Well, they're both tied up in a desert, and you've got this main villain who's going to feed them to scorpions. He leaves a bottle of water on the hand, which they're both tied up, which is like a cool trick to do, and leaves them to melt. Happy to say though, the water leaks on the rope, unloosens it, and they manage to get away. This is a good film. It's a damn good film. It's a comedy, it's an action, and it's an adventure, and I love it. I think they both hit it brilliant, Chuck Norris and his mate. So they go after some magical sword, if I remember right. It's like a dagger or something, a magical knife. And that's why the film is called Firewalker. That's why I mean it's like an Indiana Jones adventure film, and it does have an adventure feel to it. So they're in a pub and they meet this beautiful girl. She's been in like a few films. She was in Dias and a few episodes of Dias. She was in Fast Jordan. You might remember her being Fast Jordan's woman in the film Fast Jordan. She's been in loads of films. Very attractive lady in that era. And they go after the Jagger. I do love the scene where they're in the bar though. I love it. They're in a bar, right? You've got this big dude who wants to fight with Chuck, Chuck Norris. He does the fighting and all that. Bits in it which kind of reminds me of Missing in Action 1, Missing in Action 2, and Enforcer USA. But this was more, it was more of a comedy. I would say Missing in Action 3 actually. But yeah, it's more of a comedy scene, the fighting, and Chuck Norris gets the better and kicks ass. Now you've got one guy in it, a big dude, and he can crush your head with his bare hands. You think you've seen him before. He's been in a few things. He was in Poltergeist, and you might remember him as the guy that cuts his chest in the film Predator, and Predator gets the better of him. You know, the bit where he has that laugh, and that guy says, "Come on, you're not scared of anything. We're all going to die, and this is no man." You might remember him in that. Well, he plays one of the main villains in this. And again, it's an adventure film, and I love it. I love it. They're going after the Jaguar. You do get one guy in it. He's been in a lot of films. And you might remember him in Raiders. He was also in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. So he's in the film, and there's good scene in it where they're drinking beer and everything, and they're having a laugh. And it's a good scene. I mean, it's back to fun, and it's an old school adventure film. How I miss them films. How I miss them. I missed that golden era of an adventure film and an adventure film. And it's like a different known for Chuck Norris. You see Chuck Norris, he's doing martial art films and action. This is action, but it's a bit of adventure. It's a bit of everything. There's a bit in it where they disguise this piece, and the pretty girl, Sam, got blonde hair. She's disguised as a nun. Bit of comedy where you think the guy's got shot and he hasn't got shot. So I kind of like that. It's an adventure feel. There's a funny bit in it with Chuck Norris. He's insulting the woman, but he makes a mistake. It's in the bedroom, man. It's in the bedroom. He's insulting a woman with walls so thin you could practically hear any conversation going. So he's insulting the woman, going, I can't remember now what he called her, something to do with that dizzy bimbo or something. And Sebastian says, "Bimbo? Are you calling a bimbo?" Because he overheard it. Thin walls. So I kind of like that scene. So there's some good comedy bits here and there. And like I said, they go into a tomb nearly at the end. You've got this Indian. Oh, to cut the story short, you remember the Indian who was in Poltergeist 2, The Other Side? He's in the film. He's in the film. It's kind of sad, really, because you can tell this was one of the last films he was doing. As we all know, he died of cancer before he actually got to see the film Poltergeist 2. So people say Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, was the last film he was in. You'd be mistaken. Firewalker was the last film he was in, and you can tell in this he really looks ill. He's all jaunding in the face, so it's pretty sad to see. I mean, you remember him as the Indian, you know, Tain in Poltergeist 2, not Tain, so he was the villain. I mean, Taylor in Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, the Indian. He's in this. And you know, they're going after the dagger. They do have an Indian in it, and he's in a tomb. There's a funny bit in it where the guy says, "What's that?" Chuck Norris shoots him and outsmarts him with one bullet. There's a bit in it where you think his mate's got killed. He's got eaten by a jock, which you find out he hasn't got eaten by a jock child. The main villain's tied him up, but he manages to save him. And they're going through tombs. You've got spikes here, there, everywhere. Chuck Norris has an epic fight with the main villain. Manages to outsmart him and kill him. They get the dagger. They put this dust on the villain. It's hard to explain, but it's got dust on him and it puts him on fire. Then they walk off. There's a bit where they're in a pub and you've got one of the main villains. Now, if you remember the villain where I said tied him up in the opening, he's in it. And he's in a pub. You see a background of him smiling and saying, "I think not." It kind of leaves a sequel bait ending. They really think they needed a sequel bait ending. But you've got a bit of music. I thought the music was a little bit draining, but it's bearable. So Firewalker, back in 1986. What point's going to do it? Because I'm not giving points for a couple of days or months. Because it's an adventure film and I like it. It's just refreshing to see something without indie on it. See, that's my problem with the new Indiana Jones film. It's got to be indie to sell a fucking brand name. Back then, this was a film what was its own film. Yeah, there's bits that does imitate Indiana Jones, but it's its own film. It's straightforward. You've got Chuck Norris kicking ass. And hey, guess what, people? Guess what? It's done by Tannen. Yeah, it's done by Tannen. Remember now it's insulting Tannen? Well, this is a dud one. It's a dud one. That being, bear with me, Firewalker. I'm just going to see if I've got it, and I have. Oh, I've got it without making people see sick. I've got it. Now look at this, right, people. Look at this for art cover. This is take another video transferred to a DVD, but look at that. Look at that for fucking art cover. All the way there, back of the adventure. Oh, there's a bit where he's going to sacrifice that pretty woman, which Chuck Norris saves the day. Forgotten to say that. You see it there. That is a damn good art cover. Why is it, right? I'm going to say it from the fucking art. Why is it, and I remember saying this before, why is it you don't see art covers like this anymore? Why is it you don't see art covers like this any fucking more? Instead, you see lazy generic shit. This here is a damn good film. I had to get this from a video rip, transferred to a DVD eventually, and then a Blu-ray rip, because again, like most Chuck Norris films, you can't get them in the UK. That's right, you cannot get Chuck Norris in the UK. You can get woman beating Stephen Seagal on fucking DVD, and all he's fucking made for fucking DVD fucking shit. But you can't get Chuck Norris on DVD. And yeah, I said it, I'm not a lover of Stephen Seagal, because in real life, people, I'm going to name and saying the fat fuck. In real life, right, Stephen Seagal, you know what he does in real life? He beats up women. Yay! Stephen Seagal beats up women. If people love Stephen Seagal, power to you. I don't. There's a woman beating arrogant fat fuck who now only does ready for made movies on DVD and thinks he's above his own fucking channel. And the only decent films he ever did was Under Siege 1 and 2. This, on the other hand, is Chuck Norris, who's a badass and deserves a lot more respect. And you very rarely see his films on DVD. So this is a damn good one. It's an expensive feel and it's professing it doesn't have Indiana Jones written on it. Don't get me wrong, you already know what I think about Indy. I love Indy. Raiders is a classic. Temple of Doom, damn good worthy film. The third one, I love it. Fourth one, not as well. So these three, good. We need more films like this. Hollywood, stop wasting fucking films on Fast and Furious and all this fucking DC comic cock. This is my DC comic. We need more films like this. Damn good film in the days when Tannen did decent films. Damn good one. That being Firewalker back in 1986. Into them. Be smart, be safe, and again, 10-star rating. See you later. Be smart, be safe, and I'll see you soon.